West Bromwich Albion beaten just once on the road all season at Barnsley back in September. Bristol City, for their part, though, hard to beat here at Ashton Gate this season, losing only twice. Their big problem throughout the season, when you look at their overall record, is that they've drawn far too many matches. Lewis Carey there at the front, the Bristol City captain, one of only 5 players to make over 500 appearances for the club. The team news: Bristol City are unchanged. It's the same side that drew 1-1 here with Leicester City on Tuesday night. Chris Iwelumo, who joined on a month's loan from Wolves only last week, leads the line again up front for a team who've managed only 2 goals in their last 6 games. Liam Fontaine impressed at left-back on Tuesday, so he's set to continue there, with Lewin Nyatanga moving inside into the heart of defence. West Bromwich Albion make 2 changes. Their striker Roman Bednar is fit again after a back problem. He starts in place of Luke Moore, with Yusuf Malumbu returning to the heart of midfield after serving a suspension following his sending off in the FA Cup at Reading last weekend. Andy Slory drops down to the bench. Malumbu's return, by the way, frees up Graham Dorrans for a more attacking role. Our referee today is Neil Swarbrick from Lancashire. It's the 2nd time he's taken charge of these 2 teams this season. West Bromwich Albion will get us underway here in the stripes, kicking from left to right during the first half. Albion with an excellent record on the road, from which they're looking to keep going. Thorns. Haynes taking on Joe Mattock. Look at him go, great speed. Mattock's really struggling to get back there. First attack from Bristol City in the match, and it was the pace of Haynes on that far side, and Joe Mattock knows he's in a game now.
He does. I mean, Haynes is a player not been in great form, but he's certainly got great pace, and he really takes the fullback to the cleaners there, and it's just a little bit more quality at the end of that. He could pick out the striker, and in the end it's almost a toe punch. I think it was the right decision from the referee.
Yeah, I don't think even if that was inside the penalty area it would have been a penalty kick, actually.
No.
This is Syverlon getting the ball away from Clarkson. West Brom getting themselves in a bit of a pickle there, and Bristol City have a corner off Malumbu's backside.
Well, it's panic defending, isn't it? You come under pressure away from home and you want your players to be calm and deal with that in a calm manner. Now they're suddenly defending a corner.
First corner of the game for Bristol City here. Chance to put Albion under pressure. Tamas with the initial header away.
He needs to focus on what he's good at. I'm sure he will. You know, as we say, he's been excellent so far in this game and all season so far.
Nyatanga's ball in. Olsen made sure that it was his. This is Marvin Elliott. And now Orr. Oh, he's turned away from Malumbu here. Could open up. Not a bad effort there from Bradley Orr.
He's shown good quality, hasn't he? You know, he's come inside onto his standing foot, really, his left foot. You know, he hasn't tested the keeper, but he demonstrates to me that he's a good passer, he's a steady player, and one they can rely on here at Bristol City.
A word about Scott Carson here, Martin, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. He has played for England, of course, and many thought that he would become England's goalkeeper. He's very much hoping to go to the World Cup. Neat and tidy so far, Martin, isn't it, without too much to really quicken the pulse?
No, but Bristol City will be pleased with their start. You know, looking to play better, I feel, than they did in midweek. Much more confidence in the team at the moment, trying to play it around, but need more in attack, really.
Fontaine's done well there against Syverlon. Clarkson wants the ball played in short, and he had to stretch just to get a toe poke towards Scott Carson, the goalkeeper. No power in it whatsoever, but again a promising sign here for the home side.
Well, I mean, it's a long ball, isn't it? And Clarkson makes that run from deep. Just a little bit more composure at the end of it. He tries to flick it with the outside of his right foot. A bit more awareness, and I think he can do better there.
Dorrans rides the tackle of Cole Scouse. Finds himself rather surrounded. Corran. Dispossessed by Haynes. Mattock's got some catching up to do here. Olsen going across. Iwelumo waits in the centre. Clarkson heads towards the far post. Now Bradley Orr. Bristol City need to take advantage of this decent spell, and it's a good header from Chris Iwelumo. First time that Scott Carson has really been tested here this afternoon.
But this is a good ball to the far stick. It gives him something to aim at, to head at. And, you know, it's not bad. It's a decent header and a good save in the end from Carson.
Roberto Di Matteo has really tried to shape the team that he inherited from Tony Mowbray. He's made 8 signings since taking over last summer. Been looking to bring in some Premier League experience on loan. Nouvel, one of those that he has brought in. Iwelumo as well, but I know that West Brom were quite keen to bring Jason Kumas back from Wigan. It's Marvin Elliott trying to force his way through. Malumbu. Neat and tidy, but does the job. And now the more creative force of Dorrans. Bednar. Brunt. Time and space to deliver the cross in towards Bednar. Gherkin makes the save. Fantastic. Bristol City survive.
Well, that's a fantastic save. Brunt now on the left-hand side, putting a great ball into the box, which of course is what he's good at.
Here come Albion again, the ball from Saivalon, picking out Dorrans, and it's 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion, and their man of the season, Graham Dorrans, is the man who's broken the deadlock.
Well, he's an excellent player. He shows his quality again for his team. He really is the outstanding player on view today. Little ball into the channel. Look at his composure. He just picks out a spot in the far corner, and his team will be happy with that.
Graham Dorrans with unerring accuracy, finding the bottom corner of the net. It's his 13th goal of the season. Aside, but the play seems to be going everywhere else at the moment. Olsen. Corran making a run forward. Olsen looking for Bednar, who's in behind Nyatanga here. Roman Bednar for West Brom, and Gherkin is rather fortunate that Nyatanga was nearby to clear the ball. And it's a free kick to Bristol City. Scoos. Bradley Orr there looking for Clarkson. It's away by Jonas Olsen. Johnson picking it up. Little turn. Good opportunity, and just wide there by Haynes. That's the closest Bristol City have come to a goal here during this first half.
Well, Haynes has been a live wire, hasn't he? This time he's more central. You know, suddenly he's joining. They've got 2 strikers. It's a decent turn, and then again just lacks that quality at the end of it. This is when you're just looking for the top players here. They almost switch a button and they're relaxed in front of goal, and he panics a little bit there and puts it wide.
See Danny Haynes just getting it away from Tamas, but then the ball just skewing wide off the outside of his boot. West Bromwich Albion with 31 points from 16 games on the road so far. And if it stays like this, they'll be collecting another 3. Long way to go, though. Last few moments of this first half. And there goes the half-time whistle. And Bristol City with work to do here against promotion-chasing West Bromwich Albion. Roberto Di Matteo, one assumes, would be reasonably happy with the efforts of his team here in this first half. The side with the best away record in the division have the lead thanks to that man there, Graham Dorrans, who scored the goal just past the midway point of the first half, which gives us a half-time score here at Ashton Gate of Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. And Bristol City in the red shirts to get us underway in the second half here. What is a very pleasant afternoon in Bristol. Liam Fontaine tries to get things moving, but it was rather wayward. Not surprisingly, Robert Corran, the Slovenian international captain, is looking rather frustrated at the moment on the edge of the penalty area. He was in an excellent position, surging forward as Clarkson launches the ball in the general direction of Chris Iwelumo. I suppose it's just a sort of challenge that Jonas Olsen will like, though, won't it? Big physical duel against a player like Iwelumo.
Well, it's perfect for him. He doesn't want to play against someone who's mobile, quick and strong. You know, he's a different task for him today. It's ready-made for him, really, and that's where I think it's, you know, Bristol City need to vary their game. It's often long balls, isn't it, into Iwelumo, and it's very predictable.
Lewis Carey for Bristol City. Now Lee Johnson takes a little deflection off Tamas, and it's another corner to the home team.
Yeah, it's Carey, the captain, you know, taking his team forward, you know, moving between the lines and becoming that extra player in midfield and creating problems for West Brom.
Bristol City's 4th corner of the game. It would change the complexion of the match if they could get an equaliser here now. Lee Johnson with it, carries up. Iwelumo's there! Iwelumo with the equaliser for Bristol City. It's his first goal for the club. We're back at square one. And West Bromwich Albion are pegged back by Gary Johnson's team here. And we are set up nicely for the second half.
Ball into the box from the corner, bit of a scramble, just lands perfectly for Umalumu. I mean, how do you like them in the penalty box? Just in the 6-yard area. Again, it's very scruffy, but it's the captain involved again. And what about that? Just a simple tap-in. So all that good work for West Bromwich Albion.
Just wonder whether there was a handball there by Lewis Carey. The ball looked as if it might have struck him on the arm. Let's have a little look as it comes in. Not sure whether we'll pick it up this time. No, we're following Iwelumo, who plants the ball into the back of the net, and what a relief for Gary Johnson and the vast majority of the people inside Ashton Gate. Well, the atmosphere has lifted a little bit inside Ashton Gate, bit of belief coursing through the veins of the home faithful here. Bristol City, as we have mentioned earlier, are quite a tough side to beat at Ashton Gate, drawing half of their matches, only losing twice at home. Admittedly, one of them was an absolute thrashing just a few weeks ago. 6-0 they were beaten there by Cardiff City. But as someone pointed out, they still only lost out on 3 points in that game, even though it was 6 they led in. Here comes Danny Haynes for Bristol City, twisting and turning his way clear. Oh, what a chance! And Lee Johnson has turned the game on its head. Bristol City 2, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Wow, would you believe it? You know, you look at Haynes, he's gone down that right-hand side. All of a sudden, he's full of confidence. It's a great run. Look at him here. He takes it on, he's composed, he's a different player all of a sudden. He checks inside, he goes outside, and he pulls it for the far post. And there's Johnson breaking suddenly from midfield with bags of confidence. Amazing what a goal does, and now they're 2-1 up. 2 goals in 4 minutes for Bristol City, and Lee Johnson, what a time to score your first of the season. Last month, the manager's son was on loan at Derby County. Derby were keen to keep him till the end of the season, and I bet Gary Johnson is pleased that he brought his boy back from the East Midlands now. Bristol City leading West Brom 2-1. But it's a great ball, isn't it, from Haynes? He just pulls it back behind the defenders, and it's the easiest of tap-ins for Johnson. And, you know, now West Bromwich Albion have got it all to do. Now Bristol City trying to surge forward again, but a free kick to West Bromwich Albion. Well, Johnson, I think, has been given a yellow card for the exuberant way in which he celebrated, but such has been the drought in front of goal for both him and for Bristol City in recent weeks that I think will let him off. Ball played forward now, Bednar, little chest down, Nyatanga away. And Bristol City will be a different proposition now, you sense, for West Brom. Their tails are up, and away comes Danny Haynes up against Jonas Olsen. Brunt was a covering man as well at the back. It's headed clear by Tamas. Here's Cole Scoos. Little deflection in towards Iwelumo. And now West Bromwich Albion are rattled a little bit here. It's quite remarkable, isn't it, the change around? Incredible. Malumbu is getting his foot on the ball. Leaving it for Chris Brunt now. Doran's making the forward charge. Nyatanga with the interception. Clarkson. You feel, though, if Bristol City really go at them, they're very vulnerable at the moment, West Bromwich Albion. This has hurt them. And, you know, as the tails are up, maybe a chance to score again. Well, West Bromwich Albion are going to make a change in the next minute or two. Simon Cox is going to come on, and Robert Corran, I think, is the man who will make way. They'll make that change at the first available opportunity. Dorrans. That's a real up and under ball, something we didn't see from West Brom earlier in the match. Well, all of a sudden, it's great playing well when, you know, when you're in good form, but it's playing well now when questions have been asked of you. West Brom have got to stick together and pull back into this match. See the frustration on their manager's face there, Roberto Di Matteo. This is Slory. Now Olsen. And suddenly things are not quite working for West Bromwich Albion. They are a little bit rattled and on the ropes at the moment in this game. Delicate touch from Lee Johnson, not quite so from Clarkson. Here comes Liam Fontaine! Well, that certainly had Scott Carson flinging himself across to his right to try and keep it out. Yeah, I mean, another excellent move. You know, him coming from deep as well, just shows you now the confidence, getting players forward, committing players. But I think Johnson is the key to it at the moment, playing a more advanced role in that midfield and willing to attack.
too much boinging in the baggies end at the moment. Slory holding off Orr. West Brom unable to really assert themselves at all for any spell in this second half. Doran's losing out to Marvin Elliott. Clarkson in there. Johnson just pulled out of the way by Malumbu, but all it did was open it up for Clarkson. Danny Haynes up against Joe Mattock. Haynes has beaten him once again. Good play by Haynes, and a very timely block there by Scott Carson. But Haynes, every time he takes on Mattock, he has beaten him for pace.
Well, he knows he's got the beating of him, doesn't he?
Glior's ball in. Iwelumo. Well, if anything, Martin, Bristol City are threatening to score a third goal here.
Well, that's right, and they're really, I mean, to be honest, they're just getting the ball wide to Haynes, and he's terrorising the fullback, and he's done it time and time again. West Bromwich Albion, okay, they want to try and win the game, but you know, at the moment they're losing because of their defensively they look very, very vulnerable.
Mattock, who scored his first goal for West Bromwich Albion last week in the FA Cup at Reading, he's been spending most of his time defending here today against Danny Haynes, who yet again leaves him on the seat of his pants. Haynes with the ball in, Clarkson with the chance. That was a good block, very good block there by Chris Brunt inside the penalty area. Forward come Bristol City again. Liam Fontaine.
So open, isn't it? You know, so stretched. West Bromwich Albion never seem to change their pattern and their shape. You know, they back themselves against everybody else. You know, we're good enough to beat you, and it'll be interesting to see if Bristol City come out on top in this one.
Malumbu. Cole Scoos with the interception. Fontaine. "15 minutes to go. It's in towards Haynes, who's trying his luck on the far side now. I sense that Mattock will be relieved about that for a few minutes at least.
Yeah, I like Haynes being, you know, rather than being tied down on that right. Okay, he's good there, but he's joining in well and giving support to the big man up front. You know, it's interesting to see if Iwelumo will actually play the 90 minutes, because he's looking tired to me.
Well, he hasn't played much first-team football this season, has he, Chris Iwelumo? As Bristol City push forward again, Tamas with the header away. Horrible attempt at a clearance there by Malumbu. It was absolutely awful. Iwelumo waits for it to drop. Bradley Orr can't get there. West Bromwich Albion survive a potentially awkward moment. Still Bristol City press forward with Liam Fontaine, Lee Johnson, now Scoos. This time it's Scoos turning away from Dorans, and a reversal of the first half. Iwelumo looking for a free kick, which he doesn't get. It's in towards Clarkson. Oh, he took it well there, but Zyvalon was back, and Bristol City will have to settle for a corner.
Yeah, it's good work from Bristol City again. You know, this is what they do. They get this concerted pressure that they put on people, don't they? They raise their tempo. Very difficult to play against. The atmosphere is brewing and building, and then they suddenly score from a set piece. Will they do it this time?
Well, will this prove to be the match that turns Bristol City's season around? With just over 13 minutes to go. Lee Johnson, awkward looking ball in towards Chris Iwelumo. Albion's central defensive pairing get it away. But yes, it is going to. Gary Johnson is making the change now before this free kick is taken, and Ivan Sproul, the Northern Ireland international, is going to come on.
He's decent, this lad. You know, he's got a point to prove. High energy player, really runs at people. Pretty well the same as Haynes. So you know, the fullback West Bromwich Albion, Maddock's really going to be in for another running unless he gets tighter to him.
Haynes has done well today, and Sproul is going to come on. Celebrated his 29th birthday on Thursday. 7 minutes to go. Mattock at a stretch, and Olsen away. But it's not West Brom who are asking the questions here as we head into the closing stages. First touch for Sproul, wasn't a bad cross either.
Excellent pass, wasn't it? You know, great cross there from him, just simple, just guide it into the area.
Slory on the ground looking for a free kick, and not getting any sympathy from the referee. As Bristol City still push for a third. There's a first touch for the substitute Maynard. Sproul. Doesn't get any easier for Dorrans, nor for Mattock. Sproul in towards Iwelumo. Well, it had the direction, but somehow the power went missing.
It just keeps getting better there, doesn't it? Elliott popping it out wide. Sproul suddenly taking over from Haynes. You wouldn't know that Haynes has gone off. It's like for like. And the big man in the box as well, finishing things off.
Well, Bristol City will know they're far from home and hosed here. I mean, they took the lead after 90 minutes on Tuesday against Leicester, and they still didn't win the game.
Well, I mean, how many times is it this season they've conceded late goals? And you know, the fans here won't want me to remind them, but you know, it's something they've got to be mindful of and be professional, see the job through.
Well, Bristol City fans, close your ears, but your team, a third of the goals you've conceded have come in the last 10 minutes, pretty much, in matches this season. Sproul. West Bromwich Albion on the rack here. Lee Johnson, and it's going to be a corner off Olsen. Well, there's a hearty roar inside Ashton Gate that was certainly missing at the start of the afternoon. Lee Johnson with the corner. 5 minutes to go. Iwelumo giving Olsen all that he can handle. Bednar back and solid, helping out in defence. They gave the impression of a team who were just easing along during the first half, who looked as though they could step it up a gear or two if required, but they haven't managed to do that. Mulumbu. West Brom with no sustained period of pressure here in the second period at all. Ball just gets away from Ivan Sproul, but he's full of determination, and Mattock there left running through treacle once again.
Well, as we said, Sproul will give you exactly the same as Haynes, a willing runner, and he really is. The fullback knows he's been in a game. Bristol
City could be wide open here, though. It's Roman Bednar for West Bromwich Albion. Bednar with a shot, and Gherkin with the save.
Yeah, this is the problem for Bristol City. It's, you know, don't want to make it too open. Since they've gone to 3 at the back, West Bromwich Albion, I actually think it's been worse for them.
Are they overcommitting to try and find that third goal, Bristol City?
Let's watch this corner.
Corner taken quickly. Chris Brunt here for Albion. Danger still not clear. Tamas back in, and the deflection off Fontaine means it goes behind for another corner. Just 4 minutes away from what would be a first league win in 7. A morale-boosting first league win in 7. But it's a big 4 minutes here, both for them and for West Bromwich Albion. Albion trying to close the gap on the leaders Newcastle at the top of the championship table. But are they going to be empty-handed on the road for only the second time this season? Or can they pull something out of the bag? Doran's beaten to the ball again. And away comes Nicky Maynard. Oh, he was fouled there. That'll be a card.
It's Cox.
Simon Cox with the foul. There were other defenders around, though. It's going to be yellow. 2 on the score. This is Nicky Maynard. First touch for Paul Hartley. Brunt's interception. Still time for another West Bromwich Albion attack, as they push to try and dig out a draw. Bednar against Nyatanga. Oh, it nearly fell for Cox inside the penalty area. The crowd screaming
back there, wasn't it? It was
crowd screaming for Fontaine to get rid of the ball. In it goes once more. Olsen with the header. And Bradley Orr clears his lines at the expense of a throw-in. 20 seconds of added time remaining here. West Bromwich Albion heading for a first defeat in 8. Was that their last opportunity?
Well, I think so, and the players will be relieved to see that one go out of play. Earlier on there, I think Elliott got back into the box, and that's what all good midfield players do. They get back and they recognise danger. It's all hands to the deck at the moment, but we feel now that Bristol City surely can see this job through.
Well, an afternoon that started so well for West Bromwich Albion. They were full of confidence, full of lovely football. They really look like the promotion-chasing side that they are, but having gone ahead, they were pegged back here by Bristol City, and they haven't been able to respond. 2 quick goals in 4 minutes early in the second half have really given Bristol City the impetus to carry on and take the game to West Bromwich Albion. and Bristol City win for the first time in 7. Their bad run in the league is over. Relief all around Ashton Gate for Gary Johnson, his team and all the supporters here. West Bromwich Albion are beaten on the road for only the second time this season. Roberto Di Matteo's team took the lead in the first half through Graham Dorrans, but in the second half, 2 goals in 4 minutes. First, Chris Iwelumo with his first for the club, 10 minutes after the break, and then with nearly an hour played, 4 minutes later, Lee Johnson with the tap-in at the far post turned the game around, and in the end, Bristol City, you have to say, were worthy of their victory. West Bromwich Albion just could not respond in the second half. The final score here at Ashton Gate, Bristol City 2, West Bromwich Albion 1.